This is one of the best valued monster manuals for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Hands down, no contest. Let's take a look. Hey guys, welcome back to Black Magic Craft. It is Tuesday, so that means it's also Reviews Day. And today I'm going to be sharing with you what is one of my favorite resource books as a DM. This is the Tome of Beasts by Kobold Press, and it is a 5th edition compatible monster manual. It's been on the market for quite some time, but I'm sure there's some of you who have never heard of it, and probably some of you have seen it and are on the fence about buying it, so I want to take a look with you and share my thoughts on it because I've used it extensively for a year or two now. This video is not sponsored by Kobold Press. In fact, they have no idea I'm making it. However, all of the links that I'm going to provide where you can buy this book are affiliate links, and I will make a commission on those sales, and that commission will help fund future videos. So take everything I say with whatever sized grain of salt you feel is appropriate. Let's dig into this book. All right, here's this hefty Tome of Beasts. This is a 5th edition compatible monster manual. As you can see, it is massive. This book has 429 pages and over 400 individual monsters. Kobold Press launched this book via Kickstarter a few years ago, and that Kickstarter was wildly successful. I picked mine up shortly after on the retail market. Now, like I said, this has been out for a few years, and actually Kobold Press is about to launch a second tome of foes called the Creature Codex that's going to come out October 9th. So if you already have this one, the good news is there's a new one coming out soon. But if you haven't heard of this, I think this is definitely the place to start. Let's talk about price for a minute. This is a big book, and like I said, it's got over 400 monsters in it, but the price is really reasonable. Right now, as of filming this video, this book on Amazon.com is $45 USD. And you know what's really cool for my Canadian brothers and sisters is that on Amazon.ca, this book is $48 Canadian. That currently with exchange equals $37 USD. So this book is actually cheaper by several dollars on .ca than .com, and both of them are available with free shipping. This book is also available as a PDF from DrivethruRPG, and that PDF is currently selling for $25 US. So I will put links to all three of those in the video description. My favorite thing about this book is that it is all killer, no filler. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You open the book, there's a title page, there's all the credits, the play testers, that sort of thing. Obviously that needs to be there. There's a table of contents, very useful. 1-page introduction to the book, and bam, first monster. On the 8th page already, you are into the purpose of this book, the monsters. There's no filler of lore and stories, and you know, Wizards of the Coast likes to fill their books full of other secondary material, but if you're just after monsters, this book delivers. Page 8, it starts. But what's even cooler is right to the end, you have the last monster, page 426, then you have an appendix, monsters listed by challenge rating, and the open game license, which they are legally required to publish because it uses the 5e rule set, and a 1-page ad for a product that goes with this. It is all monsters. There is no filler in this book at all, which is incredible considering it's over 400 pages. And speaking of this ad, you can also buy pawns to go with this. There's a set that they make of punch-out cardboard pawns that have the artwork of all the monsters included. What's even more impressive about this being so full of monsters is that every single monster has art, and every monster has full color art. They actually commissioned artwork for over 400 monsters and printed it all in color, which is absolutely incredible because that is not cheap. That costs a lot of money to, especially if you're, a smaller publisher, to commission that much artwork. And it really goes a long way to, impress the reader and keep you engaged and to inspire you when you're looking for inspiration to run a session. I also love that they kept the stat blocks in the same structuring as all of the official WotC monster manuals. To me, that is really important because as a DM, you learn to read things in a certain way and look for certain information in certain places, and it's exactly where you want it to be. With every monster, a little bit of, background lore and stuff, which is nice. It gives you some insight into some very unique monsters, but it has your regular stat block, and also a lot of these monsters have really, really unique actions and different abilities that are really cool and interesting and actually very inspiring for a session. And these monsters are very unique. There are some of the classic monsters like gnolls, kobolds, dragons, and goblins that they've added to and done some unique versions of, but for the most part, these are really unique monsters. You have things like this demon lord of cockroaches and all his spawn. And I ran a whole session around this in the cellars of my dark cathedral, and it was fantastic. And that was all spawned by flipping through this book and being inspired by the artwork. What I really enjoy about the way they put this together and created the monsters is the distribution as it relates to challenge rating. I find that a lot of the official Wizards of the Coast monster manuals are always too heavily weighted on low challenge rating or high challenge rating. From my personal experience, I need stuff from all levels, mostly in the middle. Yeah, I want a nice distribution of early game light challenge rating stuff and some harder stuff, but this book offers a nice even distribution across all challenge ratings, so it's going to have everything you need. It is slightly weighted, a little bit heavier on the 4 to 6 range, which I think is actually ideal because, at least for my experience, a lot of campaigns live a long time in that sort of level, between level 4 and 8. It takes people only a few sessions to go through the early levels, and many campaigns don't last till later levels. So the meat and potatoes for me that's important is these middle challenge ratings, and there's a lot of those, but there's lots of everything. The book itself is very high quality. Like I said, full color, nice heavy matte paper. It feels really nice. This feels like a high school textbook. That's what it reminds me of because it's so big, the smell, the paper quality. It is binded much better than the Wizards of the Coast stuff. I myself have had both a player's handbook and a monster manual fall apart at the binding, and that's really frustrating. I mean, Wizards did replace it through their replacement program, but still it speaks to the quality of printing when big chunks of pages just fall out. I've had this book for I don't know how long now. It's been over a year, maybe getting on 2 years. Whenever it hit retail markets, that's when I first bought it. I've had it for a long time. I've used it a lot, and there's no pages getting loose or damaged. It still seems new. I also like the way the binding is done, where I don't know what this is called because I'm not a booksmith, where there's this gap between the outer cover and the cloth binding. And that means that this book always lays open nicely. You don't get pages wanting to flip back. You can keep this open to whatever you need at any given time. The cover, full color, hardcover, nice quality. Again, nothing is peeling even after, a lot of use. Really high quality book. Because of the sheer amount of monsters in this book, the great distribution of challenge rating, the number of unique monsters in it versus the price, I think this is without question the best valued monster manual for 5th edition that exists on the market. I don't even think there's anything that comes close. I do think that every DM should own the 5th edition monster manual just to get all those classic base level monsters, but I think this is the next book that everyone should buy well before anything like Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, even though I really like that, or Xanathar's Guide, or whatever the other, I can't remember. Drawing a blank. There's a few other monster manuals that have come out for 5th edition from WotC. This one is better than all of them combined. Incredibly good value. You won't be disappointed. High quality. I absolutely love this book. I will, of course, put links in the video description where you can pick this up in hard copy from Amazon.com and .ca. I will also put a link to DrivethruRPG where you can pick up the PDF if you prefer that over a physical copy. Again, I will get a small commission from any of those sales, and that will help fund future videos. I hope you guys found this enjoyable. If you did, hit that like button. Let me know what your thoughts are on this book in the comments section below, because I have a feeling a lot of you out there already own it. Do you use it? Do you love it? Do you not like it? Put those thoughts in the comments for everybody to see, so you don't just have to take my word for this. You can take the word of everyone else in the community. That's it for this week, guys. I will see you again on Friday. Cheers.